Approaching 7:25 here on BT Vancouver. Thanks for joining us this morning. Well, if you tried to book a camping reservation on the BC Parks website this week and were out of luck, there are more options than just provincial parks to get away this summer. Joining us now is Joss Penny, the Executive Director of the BC Lodging and Campgrounds Association. He's in Port Moody. Good morning, Joss. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Mary. Thank you for having me on.
So just to be clear, you work in the private campground sector, so you were not a part of the madness that happened on Monday. What did you have to say about the site crashing?
It's understandable, because when you put 50,000 people on the start line and you say go at the same time, it's a real tough challenge to be able to deal with that number of people. And you have to remember that with camping, a lot of these people were pre-planned it, and then they had plans scuppered by COVID. And so they knew where they wanted to go, they knew when they wanted to go, and as soon as that reservation system opened, they all tried to get on. And probably many of them had multiple devices at the same time. Yeah. So it's understandable.
Absolutely, yeah. People were on the site for hours just trying to get through. Some got lucky, but others didn't. I've been hearing your private campgrounds have been operating throughout the pandemic. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, we're a non-health essential service. A lot of private campgrounds are open year-round, and they house people that live in RVs year-round, but also a lot of Canadians wintered down south, and they came back with their RVs, and they needed somewhere to self-isolate, and so we took care of those people.
Wow, okay, that's great. So we know BC Parks are only open to BC residents this summer. Is that the same for private parks?
No, we're going to be open for all Canadian residents. At the moment, there's a non-essential travel advisory between British Columbia and Alberta, but we're expecting at some time there will be an alignment by the governments, and that Albertans will be welcome here and British Columbians will be welcome in Alberta. So at the moment, we're keeping on with those reservations from those provinces, and we anticipate that that'll make up quite a lot of business, especially as the further east you travel in British Columbia.
That's very interesting. So can you tell us where some of your parks are, places you might recommend on the Lower Mainland?
Well, the Lower Mainland is obviously very tough to get into, but I mean, there are a number of private sector parks, like Burnaby Caribou was one of the closest ones, and Capilano right in Vancouver, moving out towards Bridal Falls, where you get quite a few campgrounds there, like Campoland. There's also Fort Langley, which is the Metro Vancouver park as well on Bray Island. So there are a number of private sector campgrounds around. I mean, the further out you go, the more chance you're going to have at this point in time in finding some camping. So if you've got your equipment, I think you should be looking at a 4 to 6 hour drive from Vancouver to actually find somewhere at this point in time, especially if you're planning to travel in the next 2 months.
So lots of options for British Columbians and Canadians. Real quick, Joss, we only have about 20 seconds left. When people do go to these private parks, what changes will they notice?
No playgrounds. Some of the clubhouses will be closed, and we'll be asking people to bring their own protection pack with them, which is hand sanitizer, wipes, a mask. Make sure that they're prepared with their family, because I think they're going to have a responsibility to clean. They're also going to be in smaller groups of 6 people per household, or they're a bubble on each site. We're going to try and prevent gatherings, and then when they go to the beach, they're going to have to observe a 2-meter ring, so that's about the size of a pool noodle.
All right, so the safety measures continue at the private campgrounds as well. Joss, thank you so much for your time this morning. It was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, it is approaching